Imagine waking up tomorrow with the mindset of a true Stoic, ready to conquer any challenge without letting chaos or procrastination steal your day. This isn't an exaggeration. It's precisely how great Stoic masters like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius viewed each morning, not as mere routine but as the initial battlefield where the day's control is decided by you or by the world. If you're tired of waking up feeling the weight of the world, enslaved by your phone, bad news, anxiety, and the daily grind, this video is for you. Today, I'll show you how to transform your mornings into rituals of strength, clarity, and discipline using the secret weapons of Stoicism. Don't expect generic advice or empty motivation here. What you'll discover are practical, sharp strategies proven by those who truly grasp the value of mastering one's mind before facing the external world. And don't think this is only for the young or those with ample free time. Age is irrelevant. If you want to stop wasting energy, if you're weary of living on autopilot, and if you're ready to truly take control, stay with me until the end. Every step I'm about to reveal could be the turning point between another lost day and a life lived with purpose. Now, if you want to keep receiving truly transformative content, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. This isn't just to help me, it's to ensure you never miss a life-changing tip. Are you ready to awaken like a true Stoic? Then let's journey together, because those who stay until the end emerge stronger. Avoid mental overload upon waking. Waking up with a heavy feeling, as if the day began even before opening your eyes, clearly signals that something is amiss. The common mistake is how most people start their mornings, diving headfirst into a sea of useless information, notifications, social media, and news that only fuels anxiety. The brain, still in a state of rest, is abruptly plunged into a whirlwind of stimuli, creating a sense of urgency and chaos that can linger throughout the day. Stoicism offers a powerful alternative to this vicious cycle, transforming the first few minutes of the day into a ritual of mental fortification and self-control. From a Stoic perspective, the start of the day is a sacred moment, an opportunity to set the tone for the coming hours with serenity and intention. Marcus Aurelius, a titan of Stoicism, advocated using each morning to mentally prepare for life's inevitable challenges and difficulties. Instead of getting lost in external distractions, the Stoic turns inward, practicing self-mastery and detachment. This means resisting the urge to grab your phone, avoiding the bombardment of news, and instead seeking activities that nourish the mind and spirit, such as inspiring reading or a few minutes of silent reflection. Practicing detachment immediately upon waking is daily training for not being dominated by external pressures and desires. Self-control, so prized by the Stoics, stems from this small act of discipline, protecting one's mind from excessive early morning stimuli. Instead of reacting to what's happening around you, you choose to act with intention, setting your own priorities before the world imposes its upon you. This space of silence and introspection allows you to observe your thoughts, acknowledge your emotions, and prepare to face the day with greater clarity and balance. Morning reflection is another cornerstone of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius used his mornings to write in his journal, reviewing his intentions and recalling what truly mattered. This habit of introspection can be easily adapted. Just a few minutes to contemplate the day's challenges, define a clear objective, or simply observe how you feel. By doing so, you not only organize your mind, but also strengthen your capacity to face unforeseen events and adversities with more composure. Gratitude also holds a central place in the Stoic routine. Instead of starting the day complaining about what's missing or what didn't go as expected, the Stoic chooses to give thanks for the small blessings already present. This simple act of appreciation shifts your perspective, bringing a sense of abundance and contentment that helps face the day with more ease. Reflecting on 3 things you're grateful for right after waking may seem simple, but it's a powerful tool to train your brain to focus on the positive and not be overwhelmed by what's beyond your control. Creating a morning routine inspired by Stoicism is, above all, an act of courage and self-responsibility. It's not about eliminating all problems or avoiding difficulties, but about choosing how you will approach each new day. By shielding your mind from information overload, practicing detachment, reflecting on your intentions, and cultivating gratitude, you build a solid foundation of balance and inner strength. Thus, instead of being dragged by early morning chaos, you take control and start the day like a true Stoic, calm, focused, and ready to overcome any challenge. Embrace a small discomfort to start your day. Waking up and immediately seeking comfort might seem natural, but therein lies the danger for those striving for a stronger, more resilient life. Stoicism teaches that excessive comfort weakens both mind and body, rendering any adversity an unbearable burden. The great Stoics didn't pursue suffering out of vanity. Rather, they understood that confronting small voluntary discomforts first thing in the morning was powerful training for the soul. When you resolve to break free from autopilot and face something difficult early in the day, you're proving to yourself who truly is in charge, you or your comfort zone. Voluntary discomfort is a practical tool for those who wish to prepare for life's genuine challenges. Imagine starting your day with a cold shower, for instance. It's not pleasant, but it's not impossible either. By enduring that initial shock, you send a clear message to your brain: I am capable of withstanding what is difficult. This small early victory shifts your perception of the rest of the day. When greater obstacles arise, your mind will already be trained not to flee, not to seek easy shortcuts, but to act with courage and determination. Stoics, like Seneca and Epictetus, advocated uncomfortable practices to fortify the spirit. Occasionally sleeping on a hard mattress, fasting, walking on cold days, all served as training, so that when life genuinely became tough, they were already prepared. The idea isn't self-punishment, but to build a reservoir of inner strength. Thus, when the unexpected occurs, an illness, a loss, a crisis, you won't be caught off guard, because you already know the sensation of stepping outside your comfort zone and surviving. Modern science reinforces this ancient teaching. When you expose yourself to minor discomforts in a controlled manner, your body and mind adapt, building resilience. Voluntary discomfort functions as willpower training. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. This applies to any area of life, from resisting the temptation to eat something unhealthy, to maintaining focus on a difficult task, even when the urge to quit arises. Every time you choose the difficult over the easy, you are building a discipline that no one can take from you. The secret lies in consistency and intention. There's no need to turn your morning into a battlefield, but rather to choose a small, real challenge that pulls you out of inertia. It could be waking up earlier than you'd like, walking instead of driving, cutting sugar from your coffee, or tidying your room before leaving. The important thing is that it requires effort, that it breaks your routine. Over time, you'll realize that these small morning challenges foster a sense of pride and self-confidence. You start the day by overcoming yourself, and that completely shifts your stance towards the world. Ultimately, Stoicism is a philosophy of action. There's no use reading beautiful quotes or admiring the discipline of the ancients if you don't put it into practice. Voluntary discomfort is your daily laboratory for training mind and body. By choosing to face difficulty first thing, you prepare yourself for whatever may come, develop a strength that doesn't depend on external circumstances, and build a freedom known only to those who master themselves. So, tomorrow, before laziness or doubt appear, choose your small discomfort and win that silent battle. The rest of the day will merely be a consequence of your bravery. Consider, what if this were my final day? Waking up each day believing there will always be a tomorrow is a silent trap that ensnares most people in cycles of procrastination, regrets, and deferred dreams. Stoicism, in contrast, proposes a confrontation with reality. What if today were your last day? This question, however uncomfortable it may seem, is an invitation to live with intensity, clarity, and purpose. It's not about living in despair or chasing fleeting pleasures, but about acting with awareness, courage, and gratitude in the face of life's uncertainty. Great Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, constantly remind us of life's brevity. For them, each morning was a new opportunity to live fully, without wasting time on distractions or trivial worries. When you ask yourself upon waking what you would do differently if you knew this was your last day, your entire routine takes on new meaning. Priorities shift, minor irritations lose their power, and what truly matters takes center stage. You begin to see the value in every moment, every conversation, every task. This Stoic perspective isn't an invitation to abandon responsibilities or live recklessly. On the contrary, it's a call to conscious action, to the pursuit of virtue and to valuing the present. The Stoic understands that they cannot control the time they have left, but they can choose how to use it. By living each day as if it were the last, you begin to act with more presence, less haste and greater intention. Important conversations are no longer postponed, acts of kindness aren't deferred, and personal projects gain priority over fleeting distractions. The daily practice of this reflection transforms how you approach challenges and opportunities. You stop wasting time on complaints, gossip, or irrelevant tasks, and start investing energy in what truly matters. Stoicism teaches that true happiness doesn't lie in accumulating possessions or status, but in living according to your values, acting with justice, courage, wisdom, and moderation. When you ask yourself if you'd be proud of your day at its end, you are effectively evaluating whether you have lived by these principles. Another fundamental point of Stoicism is the serene acceptance of what cannot be changed. By confronting the possibility of the end, the Stoic learns to accept reality as it is, without rebellion or despair. This doesn't mean resignation, but rather the maturity to distinguish what is within your control and what is not. This clarity brings inner peace and allows you to focus on what can truly be transformed: attitudes, choices, and the willingness to learn and grow. Finally, living each day as if it were the last is an exercise in gratitude and humility. You realize that nothing is guaranteed, not the people around you, not your achievements, not even your own health. This awareness awakens a deep sense of appreciation for what you have and for what you can do now. The Stoic doesn't wait for tomorrow to be better. They act today with courage and presence, ready to end the day with the certainty that they haven't wasted their opportunity to live fully. By adopting this mindset, you not only honor Stoic philosophy, but also build a life full of meaning, purpose, and true freedom. Exchange coffee for mental energy. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that only a cup of coffee can pull you out of grogginess and give you that boost to start the day. But in reality, this reliance on caffeine is a clear symptom that you're externalizing your energy, surrendering control of your body and mind to an external stimulus. Stoicism teaches the exact opposite. True power lies in activating your vitality from within, without being held hostage by anything other than your own will. Stoics have always sought self-sufficiency, not just emotionally, but also in daily habits. If you feel you only wake up after coffee, it's time to try a different approach. Instead of rushing to the coffee maker, start your day by hydrating your body with water. The simple act of drinking a large glass of water upon waking is enough to activate your cells and give you a natural energy boost as you spend hours without hydration during sleep, directly affecting your mood. Another very powerful Stoic practice is conscious breathing. Before any external stimulus, sit for a few minutes and focus solely on your breath. Inhale deeply, hold your breath, and exhale slowly. This simple exercise oxygenates the brain, calms the mind, and truly awakens the body. Breathing is one of the few processes you can completely control, and Stoics knew that mastering your breath is also mastering your emotions and vital energy. Natural light is another secret that the ancients, even without current scientific knowledge, already intuitively valued. By exposing yourself to sunlight first thing in the morning, you regulate your biological clock, improve your mood, and awaken your body without needing caffeine. Open the windows, step onto the balcony, or simply spend a few minutes outdoors. Natural light activates internal mechanisms that increase your disposition and mental clarity, preparing you for a more productive and balanced day. Physical movement is also a fundamental pillar for replacing the artificial energy of coffee with truly sustainable energy. It doesn't need to be an intense workout. A few stretches, a brief walk, or even 10 push-ups are enough to activate your metabolism and eliminate any lingering sleepiness. Stoicism values discipline and self-care, and taking care of your body first thing in the morning is an act of self-respect, as well as an effective way to show your mind who's in charge. If quitting coffee cold turkey seems impossible, it's okay to reduce it gradually. Try replacing it with tea or decaffeinated coffee and observe how your body reacts. The important thing is not to be a slave to any habit. The less you depend on external stimuli to function, the freer and stronger you will feel. The Stoic is one who masters their impulses, who is not carried away by immediacy, and who builds solid energy based on healthy habits and conscious choices. By making this change, you not only gain more control over your routine, but also discover a source of energy that depends on nothing but yourself. Dedicate 5 minutes to Stoic gratitude. While the modern world teaches us to always seek more achievements, more possessions, more recognition, Stoicism proposes a radically opposite path: to give thanks for what already exists, however small it may seem. Stoic gratitude isn't just a simple thank you for happy moments. It's a conscious choice to see value in everything, even in adversity. Imagine starting your day not with complaints, but with a profound recognition that each morning is a unique opportunity, a gift that can be withdrawn at any moment. That's the starting point for transforming your mindset. The Stoics didn't compartmentalize gratitude into good things and bad things. For them, everything that happens, from a sunny day to a difficult discussion, carried a lesson or an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote about the importance of giving thanks even for challenges, as these were what tested his courage and resilience. By dedicating 5 minutes in the morning to practicing gratitude, you're not just listing accomplishments. You're training your mind to find meaning even in what seems insignificant. A warm coffee, a quiet walk, or even the momentary absence of physical pain, all are material for exercising appreciation. A common misconception is that gratitude is passivity. On the contrary, it is action. If you value someone, express it. If you recognize the importance of health, take care of it. If you're grateful for having a roof over your head, keep it tidy. Stoic gratitude is practical, not theoretical. A journal helps, but merely jotting down empty phrases isn't enough. Don't just write, "I'm grateful for my family," but reflect, how can I honor that gratitude today? Perhaps by listening more, helping with a task, or simply being present. Concrete actions transform feeling into habit. Here's a little discussed Stoic secret: gratitude for things that haven't gone wrong. How many times have you woken up and your heart was still beating? Were your lungs working? Did no unexpected crisis occur overnight? These normalcies are easily overlooked, but they are the foundation of life. The Stoics called this the absence of evils, and they considered it reason enough to celebrate. When you stop taking the basics for granted, you discover that life is more abundant than you imagined. Another powerful exercise is the nightly review. Before bed, ask yourself, in what ways did I act virtuously today? Where did I fall short? For what can I be grateful? This practice, adopted by Seneca, isn't about judging oneself, but about adjusting one's course. Include in your answers not only successes, but also mistakes, as after all they are teachers in disguise. If you argued with someone, be grateful for the opportunity to practice patience tomorrow. If you procrastinated, acknowledge the lesson and make a simple plan for the next day. Gratitude in this context becomes fuel for evolution. Ultimately, Stoic gratitude is an antidote to the illusion of control. Nothing is permanent, not health, not relationships, not peace. Knowing this should not generate fear, but urgency. Urgency to value what is here and now. When you practice daily gratitude, you are essentially saying, I am alive, and that is reason enough to act with purpose. Don't wait to lose something to realize its value. Start today with small gestures and discover how 5 minutes of gratitude can rewrite your entire story. Shed your worries upon waking. Waking up with a heavy chest and a restless mind isn't just a bad start to the day. It's a sign that you're allowing worries to dominate your life even before you get out of bed. Stoicism offers a radical way to confront this pattern. Instead of fleeing discomfort, dive headfirst into it. The ancient Stoics knew that anxiety doesn't stem from problems themselves, but from how we interpret them. Therefore, morning is the perfect time to train the mind to face fears with courage and clarity. The first Stoic lesson is to recognize that most morning worries are exaggerated projections of the mind. When you wake up anxious, you're reacting to fantasies, not reality. Epictetus, one of the great masters of Stoicism, taught that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. When identifying the dominant worry of the day, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, accept it. If yes, act. This simple division removes the emotional weight of the problem and transforms anxiety into a concrete plan. The technique of premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum, was used by the Stoics precisely for this. First thing in the morning, imagine the worst possible scenario related to your worry. Visualize every detail. What you would say, how you would react, what steps you would take. In doing so, you'll realize two things. First, that even in the worst case, you would survive. Second, that most fears lose power when faced rationally. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, writing in his journal, "Today I shall meet with ingratitude, insolence, treachery, but I control my response." After reducing the problem to its true size, the Stoics move on to practical action. Create a plan with minimal, achievable steps. If your concern is a difficult meeting, prepare 3 key points to advocate. If it's a delicate conversation, rehearse objective phrases. The secret is not to eliminate uncertainty, but to generate confidence through preparation. Seneca said that luck favors the prepared mind, and that includes preparing even for what seems terrifying. Accepting imperfection is another Stoic pillar for dismantling worries. No day will be exactly as you've planned, and trying to control every detail only fuels anxiety. Instead, adopt the warrior's mindset. Obstacles are not enemies, they are trainers that strengthen your resilience. If something goes wrong, consider it an opportunity to practice the virtue of patience or creativity. Morning is the time to remember that you don't need a perfect day, just a courageous attitude to face whatever comes. Finally, Stoics recommend ending the morning reflection with a ritual of release. Breathe deeply 3 times, imagining you exhale worries and inhale determination. Visualize yourself moving through the day with the posture of someone who has already won internal battles even before leaving home. This practice doesn't eliminate challenges, but it changes your relationship with them. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Morning anxiety then ceases to be a monster and becomes an ally, a signal to act, not to fear. Replace morning rush with a Stoic pace. Most people cross their doorstep as if they're merely fulfilling another obligation, without contemplating what they truly want to achieve that day. It's easy to fall into autopilot, reacting to events, letting others' moods, traffic, weather, or even bad news dictate your rhythm. But the Stoic doesn't accept living this way. For those who follow Stoicism, each morning is a new battle, and no warrior enters combat without a clear purpose. Before leaving, the Stoic pauses, takes a deep breath, and asks themselves, "What is my mission today?" Defining a Stoic intention is much more than making a to-do list. It's clearly deciding what your stance will be toward challenges, difficult people, and the day's surprises. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, wrote each morning to remind himself that he would encounter obstacles, but his response to them was entirely within his control. This mental preparation isn't an empty ritual, but a powerful shield against distraction and discouragement. The Stoic chooses a mantra, a phrase that serves as armor. "I am prepared for whatever comes." This doesn't mean expecting the worst, but being ready to act with virtue, patience, and courage, regardless of the circumstances. Stoic philosophy teaches that we only have control over our actions and reactions. Weather, traffic, others' attitudes, and even minor frustrations are categorized as indifference. They are neither good nor bad in themselves. They only gain power if you allow them to. Therefore, upon leaving home, the Stoic visualizes potential obstacles and decides beforehand how they will react to each. If it rains, they don't complain. If someone is rude, they don't get upset. The secret lies in focusing on what truly matters, acting in accordance with your values, not the world's mood. This clear intention completely transforms how you experience the day. Instead of being a piece reacting to others' bored, you become the player directing your own game. Small gestures gain power. Making the bed, walking with a firm posture, looking people in the eye, remaining calm amid chaos. Every action, however small, reinforces the identity of someone who is not at the mercy of the winds, but navigates with purpose. And even when the plan doesn't go as expected, the Stoic isn't frustrated. They understand that doing their best is enough, and that the final outcome isn't always in their hands. The daily practice of this intention requires consistency and honesty. It's not about seeking perfection, but about starting over whenever necessary. If at any point in the day you lose focus, simply recall your mission and get back on track. Progress in Stoicism doesn't come from grand gestures, but from the sum of small conscious decisions, repeated every day. And over time, this silent discipline builds a strong, resilient, and admirable character. Finally, leaving home with a Stoic intention is an act of freedom. It's rejecting the role of victim and embracing that of the protagonist of your own story. It's understanding that, although you don't control everything, you can always choose how to act, how to feel, and how to respond to the world. Each morning is a new opportunity to live with purpose, to leave a positive mark, and to grow, regardless of what happens. Don't waste this opportunity. Leave home with your head held high, your gaze firm, and the certainty that come what may, you are ready to conquer the day. Avoid complaining until noon. Complaining is a silent poison that infiltrates almost everyone's routine. It starts subtly, with a grumble about the weather, traffic, or work, but soon becomes an automatic habit that drains your energy and casts you in the role of a victim. Stoicism views complaining as one of the greatest obstacles to serenity and inner strength. For the Stoic, complaining is the opposite of acting with virtue and reason. By complaining, you surrender control of your life to external factors, forgetting that true freedom lies in how you react, not in what happens around you. The great Stoic masters, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, consistently taught that suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from the opinions we form about them. When you complain, you're reinforcing a distorted perception of reality, fueling negative emotions, and making everything harder than it truly is. The challenge of going all morning without complaining is, in essence, an exercise in self-control. It requires constant vigilance of your thoughts and words, and each time you feel the urge to complain, you should pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, act. If not, accept it with serenity. Complaining doesn't change what's wrong. It only amplifies the feeling of powerlessness. Stoicism teaches that in any unpleasant situation, there are only two rational options: change what can be changed, or accept what cannot be changed. Complaining about something that can be changed is a waste of energy. Complaining about what cannot be changed is self-sabotage. The secret is to replace complaint with action or acceptance. If there's a traffic jam, use the time to listen to something uplifting. If a colleague irritates you, consider how you can better manage the situation, or simply accept that not everything depends on you. Observing the behavior of people around you makes it clear how complaints spread like a plague. One negative comment leads to another, and soon everyone is trapped in a cycle of pessimism and victimhood. The Stoic, however, stands out for their firm and quiet demeanor. They understand that complaining is a habit, not a necessity, and like any habit, it can be replaced. By challenging yourself not to complain until noon, you begin to notice how your mind becomes lighter, your mood more stable, and your energy more directed towards what truly matters. During this challenge, it's common to realize how many negative thoughts arise automatically. The Stoic secret is not to feed those thoughts. When you notice you're about to complain, swap the impulse for an attitude of gratitude or problem solving. If something bothers you and can be resolved, take action. If it cannot, accept it and move on. This daily practice strengthens your discipline and brings you closer to true serenity, the kind that doesn't depend on external circumstances. At midday, pause and reflect on how you feel. The absence of complaints doesn't eliminate problems, but it completely changes your relationship with them. You feel stronger, more balanced, more in control of yourself. Stoicism shows that complaining is just a mental vice, an unconscious choice that can be overcome with practice and intention. By adopting this stance, you not only improve your morning, but also begin to build a lighter, more productive, and virtuous life. Complaining is easy, but choosing silence, action, or acceptance is what truly transforms. Depart with a Stoic intention. Most people walk out their door as if merely fulfilling another obligation, without considering what they truly aim to achieve that day. It's easy to fall into autopilot, reacting to events, letting others' moods, traffic, weather, or even bad news dictate your pace. But the Stoic doesn't accept living this way. For those who follow Stoicism, each morning is a new battle, and no warrior enters combat without a clear purpose. Before leaving, the Stoic pauses, takes a deep breath, and asks, What is my mission today? Defining a Stoic intention is much more than making a to-do list. It's clearly deciding what your stance will be toward challenges, difficult people, and the day's surprises. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, wrote each morning to remind himself that he would encounter obstacles, but his response to them was entirely within his control. This mental preparation isn't an empty ritual, but a powerful shield against distraction and discouragement. The Stoic chooses a mantra, a phrase that serves as armor. I am prepared for whatever comes. This doesn't mean expecting the worst, but being ready to act with virtue, patience, and courage, regardless of the circumstances. Stoic philosophy teaches that we only have control over our actions and reactions. Weather, traffic, others' attitudes, and even minor frustrations are categorized as indifference. They are neither good nor bad in themselves. They only gain power if you allow them to. Therefore, upon leaving home, the Stoic visualizes potential obstacles and decides beforehand how they will react to each. If it rains, they don't complain. If someone is rude, they don't get upset. The secret lies in focusing on what truly matters, acting in accordance with your values, not the world's mood. This clear intention completely transforms how you experience the day. Instead of being a piece reacting to others' bored, you become the player directing your own game. Small gestures gain power, making the bed, walking with a firm posture, looking people in the eye, remaining calm amid chaos. Every action, however small, reinforces the identity of someone who is not at the mercy of the winds, but navigates with purpose. And even when the plan doesn't go as expected, the Stoic isn't frustrated. They understand that doing their best is enough, and that the final outcome isn't always in their hands. The daily practice of this intention requires consistency and honesty. It's not about seeking perfection, but about starting over whenever necessary. If at any point in the day you lose focus, simply recall your mission and get back on track. Progress in Stoicism doesn't come from grand gestures, but from the sum of small, conscious decisions, repeated every day. And over time, this silent discipline builds a strong, resilient, and admirable character. Finally, leaving home with a Stoic intention is an act of freedom. It's rejecting the role of victim and embracing that of the protagonist of your own story. It's understanding that, although you don't control everything, you can always choose how to act, how to feel, and how to respond to the world. Each morning is a new opportunity to live with purpose, to leave a positive mark, and to grow, regardless of what happens. Don't waste this opportunity. Leave home with your head held high, your gaze firm, and the certainty that, come what may, you are ready to conquer the day. It's time to face the truth. How you start your mornings is what separates those living on autopilot from those truly taking the reins of their destiny. Stoicism isn't a distant theory, but a practical path to transform each day into a real opportunity for growth, balance, and inner strength. By applying these Stoic steps, you cease to be a hostage to chaos, anxiety, and distractions, and become the protagonist of your own story. No matter your age or routine, every morning is an opportunity to act with greater clarity, purpose, and discipline. You've learned that you don't have to accept the weight of worries upon waking, that you can choose small discomforts to strengthen your mind, that living with intention and gratitude changes everything. It's not about seeking perfection, but about improving a little each day, facing challenges with courage, and accepting what you cannot control. The secret lies in small, repeated actions, in creating rituals that shield your mind and prepare you for what's to come. When you commit to this lifestyle, you begin to feel proud of every victory, even the quietest ones. Now, the decision is in your hands. You can revert to your usual routine, or you can put what you've learned here into practice and feel firsthand the difference that Stoic philosophy makes. I want to know, which of these lessons will be the first you apply tomorrow morning? Write in the comments, share your experience, and inspire others to also seek a stronger, more balanced life. If this content has helped you, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Together, we'll build a community of people who choose to live with purpose, courage, and serenity. See you in the next video, and remember, control of your day starts now.